She wanted the attention. They said her career was waning, and when she wrote this book in 2019 and made the accusations against the sitting president, she should have expected this attention, and that Donald Trump shouldn't be held responsible for mean tweets and death threats that she received. Now, Carroll's lawyer saying that Donald Trump is not the victim in this case. It is E. Jean Carroll. So this is what is up for the jury to decide: how much money Donald Trump should pay for the harm that E. Jean Carroll had received as a result of the defamatory statements. And remember, last year, a jury awarded her $5 million for the sexual assault and defamation for statements he made in 2022. Question for this jury is how much more he will have to pay. Brianna, Boris?
Yeah, we'll see about that. Kara Skinnell, thank you for the very latest there. Let's bring in attorney and legal analyst Areva Martin now. Areva, this walk of Trump's out of court in the middle of E. Jean Carroll's lawyers' closing argument, could that cost the former president?
I hope it does, Brianna. That was the most disrespectful display of petulance that we've ever seen. And it goes right to the heart of the plaintiff's closing argument, which is that Donald Trump thinks he's above the law. He doesn't have to play by the same rules that you or I or anyone else in a trial or in a courtroom has to play by. Throughout this trial, he has exhibited behavior. Trust me, that if anyone else other than Donald Trump exhibited this trial, probably would have been over. The judge may have held him in contempt. He would have faced severe consequences. Things like, making statements under his breath in the presence of the jury. That is never, ever allowed. Not only did he walk out, Brianna, we should note that one of his attorneys got up and walked out after he did. Again, that attorney would have been disciplined by the judge for engaging in that kind of conduct. So I hope the message that E. Jean Carroll's lawyer sent about Donald Trump sending this message that he's not above the law, I hope that resonates with these jurors.
Could we see a verdict today, do you think?
I think we could. This isn't a very complicated case. This is a case that in many ways is very straightforward. They are not determining liability. They do not have to determine if Donald Trump did, in fact, defame E. Jean Carroll, although Donald Trump's lawyer, again, playing so fast and loose with the rules, made allegations during her closing statement and throughout this trial, really, trying to get in before the jury that there's still some question about the actual conduct, the sexual assault, and still wanting the jurors to doubt whether, in fact, Donald Trump did sexually assault E. Jean Carroll. That's not an issue here. That's not being decided. It's already been decided. The only issue here is, should Donald Trump have to pay? And if so, how much should he pay?